It's a great honor to be there to celebrate the gathering, the reunion of these two chipi. Actually, it's two loans. We have one loan from the Musée du Louvre in Paris and one loan from Malta. So we're very pleased to have two very important partners for us who are lending very beautiful objects to chippies that are now visible for the visitors in our galleries. Louvre Abu Dhabi is a universal museum. We're the first universal museum of the Arab world, and we're telling stories of objects which have been separated, that meet again, telling stories of objects that are helping us to understand the world, to decipher it. These chipi are very important because of the writings. They have played a role in the deciphering of Phoenician. And for us, it's also what the museum is doing, you know. So the museum is a place where you learn how to read the image, when you learn how to read the object. So having these two magnificent objects together again is a storytelling, and at the same time open-minding on the world and on the connections. Abu Dhabi is one of the hubs of the world. Abu Dhabi is connected to the globalization, and I think there are more than 200 nationalities living in the city, calling it home. And having this museum, which is talking to everyone, which is of course embracing the Emirati, the Arab identity, but which is talking to the world, having this kind of pieces dialoguing is one of the strengths of the country, of the capital city of the country. And this is a very strong statement of confidence from Abu Dhabi to reach out of the world, to invite the world, and to be able to connect with the world, to, as I was saying, to decipher it, to read it.
Let's start with the framework. The framework is that this year, Malta and the United Arab Emirates celebrate 50 years of diplomatic relations. So, relationships, of course, result into collaboration. This project is the result of the collaboration of many entities. The Abu Dhabi Department for Culture and Tourism, the Ministry of National Heritage in Malta, Heritage Malta, the Embassy of Malta, the Louvre Abu Dhabi, and the Musée du Louvre in Paris. So you see, relations bring results. And today, we wanted to bring these two chipi together after 241 years separated. It's a very interesting story that I'm sure my colleagues who are historians will speak to you about. But after 241 years, where do these two chipi meet? They meet in Abu Dhabi to celebrate 50 years of diplomatic relations. The framework is connectivity, relationships, ties, friendship, and of course, we enjoy this project. We will enjoy this project for many, many months to come. And we will, of course, continue to collaborate with the Louvre Abu Dhabi and with the Emirati authorities in the United Arab Emirates to bring more Malta to the UAE. The objective is more Malta. Everything that we've done during this year and previous years, but especially this year, when we are celebrating the 50 years anniversary of diplomatic relations, is to bring more Malta to the UAE. They are a national symbol. A replica of the Maltese Chippus is also situated in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Malta. Let's not forget that the Phoenicians were traders. The Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs of Malta today is also in charge of trade. So it is very emblematic that this Chippus representing the Phoenician era of Malta is also in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It has been there for a very long time. But of course, right now, with this portfolio, it is really the right place for it to be. The Chippus is, as you know, a very important historical artifact because it contributed to knowledge. But I won't tell anything more because I know that my colleagues who are curators and really the people, the experts who know about these things want to talk about this, and I would like to leave space for them as well.
Yeah, of course, these two monuments are really important for the history of the deciphering, because the bilingual inscription we find in front of the base in Phoenician and in Greek is enable the French epigraphist Abod-Barthélemy to decipher a Phoenician character, Phoenician alphabet, because of his knowledge of Hebrew, because of his knowledge of some alphabetical characters he knew with his studies of the coins. He found in this short inscription of 3 lines 18 of the 22 alphabetical characters. But because these two inscriptions in Phoenician and Greek is not a translation, but it's an adaptation. You see, the Greek text is shorter than the Phoenician one, because in Phoenician it's long. It's written to the Lord Milcart of the city of the Tyr, offering by 2 brothers, Abdozir and Osir Shamar, sons of Abdozir and Osir Shamar, for hearing their voice, and may he bless them. So it's quite long. In Greek, we have Dionysus and Serapion, son of Serapion, to the Lord of Tyr, Heracles, and that's all. And it's not a translation, it's an adaptation. And above, well, the Abod-Barthélemy had this intuition that it was not a translation, and because of this intuition, he was able to decipher the Phoenician. Of course, Milcart and Heracles are linked. Both of them are, travelers, as Abdozir and Osir Shamar, the 2 brothers. And anyway, we don't know a lot of things about this chippy, but anyway, they bear witness of the devotion of 2 brothers, Phoenician brothers from Tyr in south of Lebanon, the wish they have to be understood using bilingualism.
The chippy were found in 2nd century BC, and they are a symbol of connection and the dialogue of cultures. Why? Because through the chippy, through the chippus, we managed to decipher the Phoenician language. And it wasn't the Maltese who managed to decipher it, but the French, through Jacques Barthélemy, in 1754. Following that, as a gest of goodwill, the Grand Master, Deron, at that time, donated one of the chippus to the Academy. Yes. And what best to celebrate the reunion of the chippy, if not in this institution? Yes. First of all, it is Heritage Malta's overarching objective to connect with other cultures, to ensure that our patrimony is exposed as much as possible. And what greater opportunity to do that other than here in the Louvre. And it's a great way to celebrate dialogue through cultures by basically linking our culture in the UAE with UAE culture through the chippy.